You will write down possible ideas, opinions, and points you would like to make within your paper. The next step is researching your topic. This involves gathering information, which means looking up quotes from the text and looking for outside resources as well. Take a look at this picture. This is an example of what a research paper should consist of. It includes an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. We will begin with the introduction. This is where you will start after you have gathered all your information. This is also where you will form your thesis statement. A thesis statement is 1 or 2 sentences located within your first paragraph. This lets the reader know exactly what your paper is going to be about. Please look at the following examples. The main point of a thesis statement is to make the reader want to keep reading. The first one offers limited information and is not intriguing enough for me to keep reading, as opposed to the second one, which offers me more information on what the paper is going to be about. Altogether, your introduction paragraph is there to introduce your thesis. You will work off your thesis statement when delivering information in the body of your essay. The body will include personal opinions, quotes, and outside resources that support your thesis statement. Within every paper, citations must be used. Otherwise, it is considered plagiarism. Quotes from a novel are easy to cite. This is an example of a quote from Huckleberry Finn. What you do is simply put the quote in quotation marks. At the end of the quote, put the author's last name and page number in between the parentheses, and then you put a period at the end of it. When citing an outside source, you do the same exact thing. When paraphrasing, you do not need to use quotation marks. Paraphrasing is wording a sentence differently to express what somebody else has already said. It could be either written or spoken. It is necessary to also cite when paraphrasing. Please look at the following example. Responding to quotes. After stating quotes and information from outside resources, continue the paragraph explaining exactly how you interpreted it. Ask yourself, what do I think about that? Please take a moment to look at the following example. It is also important that every paragraph within the body needs to start with the topic sentence. The topic sentence expresses the main idea in the paragraph. Topic sentences for new paragraphs should complement the previous paragraph. They are there to determine how well your essay flows. Here is an example. The topic sentence is the sentence in the red in the example. At the end of the first paragraph, I was talking about how Pap and Aunt Sally influenced Huck. In the first sentence of the second paragraph, I continue to mention Aunt Sally and Pap. However, I connect the information I have previously delivered into a whole new topic, Huck's transformation. And finally, there is the conclusion. Within the conclusion, you will deliver your final thoughts and points you want to make. This is something you need to play around with. You do not want to fully repeat everything you have already written. Just summarize your main points. In the conclusion, I would not recommend you repeat the thesis statement. Instead, you should find a way to rephrase the thesis statement. This is a formal research paper. Therefore, you should avoid using certain words. Avoid using contractions. This includes words like don't, won't, and shouldn't. Use the full two words instead. Do this. Use do not, will not, and should not. Also, avoid using words such as I, you, we, or us. A bad example of a sentence would be, I believe this showed all of us the racial tendencies he still carried with him, which was mainly due to Pap and Aunt Sally's influence on him. And what you do, when writing out a sentence, if you tend to use the word I believe, I think, I know for a fact, simply get rid of it, and there you will have your full sentence right out in front of you. A good example would be this. This showed the racial tendencies he still carried with him, which was mainly due to Pap and Aunt Sally's influence on him.